On this week's podcast, I speak some wise words.
Seconds lost are seconds that you don't get to spend with your loved ones.
Dan remembers the name of that bloke from Happy Gilmore.
Oh, Adam.
And we try to decide which requires more skill, F1 or rally.
3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to another episode of the CrossedThreads podcast, the podcast where two mates
with different levels of automotive knowledge
wax lyrical about cars amongst other things. We thought we'd get started today by just having a little bit of an overview of our weeks. So Dan, you can go first and put you on the spot.
Shit. The week's been good. We haven't done much. We've been editing our last episode of the podcast, and you might have seen. Wow. We haven't got fans yet, let's be real. No one's watching it.
Well, by the time this goes out, the first podcast will be out. So you'll be seeing the product of that that edit. We're quite proud of it.
Yeah, there are some things that went wrong, and we've now upgraded the set, and we're now in the back of my Passat.
The trusty Volkswagen Passat.
Yeah, we're just there's no need. We're just trying things out, and you know what? Let us know what you think is better.
Yeah, we thought we'd do a good comparison of like the two sets.
Did we go to Cafe in a Machine last week?
We did.
We did.
That video is not out yet, but by the time this podcast goes out, it probably will be.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mr. Aaron Sahunter with his lovely MR2 Eleanor. We filmed with Aaron and Eleanor probably a week ago today.
I think so.
Yeah, the dates will all be a little bit mixed up because this is recorded quite a bit in advance, but that video will be out, so if you haven't seen it yet, please feel free to check it out. Quite proud of it, actually. It's quite a good video.
It was good. And I've got my first ever roller shots of a car
out
the back of his
We did rollers out the back of the BMW, the trusty daily driver, the 320D. That was quite fun. A little bit sketchy. If the police are watching, that didn't happen. It was
never
on a
happened.
Private road. Mexico, whatever you want to say. That didn't happen. What else have you been up to?
And the last thing I want to say, I've got to send on my notes because it was so life-changing for me. God, I was driving to work the other day, and then I heard like a very loud car noise.
Okay, that's always exciting.
You would never expect the car that I saw to be making this noise. You can have a guess at what car. It was quite loud.
Okay. Was it a Vauxhall Corsa?
It was a Peugeot 106.
A Peugeot 106.
It had a twin pipe middle centre exhaust.
Oh my god.
So it was just a bog standard MPC 106. I think it's a 106. It's like one of the boxy Peugeots.
Yeah,
maybe
it could be a 106.
Maybe like 2010, 2013, maybe 107.
Yeah.
And then,
is it the one that's like you can get a Citroen C1 and a Toyota?
I think it might have been a Citroen C1. It could have been any of those.
Yeah, one
anyway,
of those three, yeah.
It had a centre tip dual exhaust. Everything else was standard. It just had two centre tip exhausts, and it was very loud. But that was my week.
Would you say that was the highlight of your week? Nah, getting rollers out the back of the BMW, surely that was.
I think getting lubed up by Aaron was quite good.
Cut that. That's going to get bleeped. Anyway.
How was your week?
My week was good. As some of you might already know, I'm a university student. I go to the University of Worcester and I study journalism. Big up University of Worcester, brilliant uni. Anyone who's on my course, shout out to you guys if you're watching. That was. I'm going to start my bit again. I can't carry on after that.
I just got self-conscious that I'm chewing into the mic.
That's fact.
I will pick that up afterwards. I won't.
My week was a little bit boring, to be honest. You might know that I'm a university student. I study at the University of Worcester. I do journalism. It's quite good fun, actually. I really enjoy it. I'm in my first year, so still, learning the ropes and all that. So, yeah, my week kind of consisted of, we both filmed at Cafe in a Machine, like I said, with Aaron. Maybe we'll get him on the podcast soon. He's very, very eager to come on the podcast.
I'm not excited for that episode. Not because he's not a great guy, but these two just...
He's going to be so out of his depth. We're going to be talking about engine codes and chassis numbers, and he's just going to be
I think he's a bit more knowledgeable than you.
He's way more knowledgeable than me, yeah. He really is. But yeah, so we filmed with Aaron. I went to uni. Apart from that, not really a lot. Did a bit of editing. And yeah, my car's been fine, apart from the fact that it drinks fuel.
I've got an oil change to do today.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, next. Right.
Anyway.
Swiftly moving on.
Actually, I've got written down here something that really annoyed me. Well, it has continued to annoy me since I've been driving for almost 5 years now.
It's been 5 years you've been driving?
It's ridiculous,
Jesus.
yeah. 5 years this year. It is when people Do not merge properly.
Oh my days.
You need to, if you read the road and if you know anything about how to drive, I'm going on a bit of a rant here. You need to merge properly. When it's a merge lane, let people in. Don't be that one arsehole.
Yeah.
I'm talking to you, Trevor, in your Skoda Fabia.
Trevor.
Don't speed up when someone is merging in. I'm using the road correctly by going round you because there are 2 lanes for a reason, my friend. Don't speed up just not to let me in.
It's just not that hard. It makes so much sense. Like, I just let one person in and don't let the other person in.
If everyone just let one person in.
One, two.
If everyone let one person in, the roads would be a much nicer place. And you might think I'm a bit of an arsehole for that. But
It's true.
every time there are 2 lanes and there's a row of traffic in the left lane, you best know I could bet anything that I'm going in that right lane and I'm going all the way to the front of that queue. I don't care if you think I'm an arsehole.
It's always
That's the
ego
way to
drive.
use the road.
It's the egos on drivers these days. Everyone's got an ego on the road.
It's always a
just no need-
competition.
I just don't get it.
It just makes no sense.
In our fair times, we've definitely like gone up to the lights and had a little race to 30 with the car next to us and pretend like we're on the fucking pits of an F1
It's
race.
like that clip in Ali G. We brought Ali G up last week as
We
well.
did.
He's
He's an icon in the British.
He's an
scene.
icon. But that scene where they're racing and then the speed limit changes to 30 and they both go right down to 30.
As a
yeah.
first runner, we know that far too well.
We really do.
What were we saying?
Yeah, I was just saying about people not merging correctly. It is
It's too many egos.
probably my pet peeve. I hate it so much.
And it makes so much more sense just to let someone in. Like, obviously, it gets to the point where some people take the piss of getting merged, and then like 3 people will try and like merge into you. But like, if you just let one person in,
the roads
just
would
be
be
nice on the
such
roads.
a better place, and we would all have probably more hair. We'd have less stress because we're not balding from the stress of trying not to let people in.
But the funny thing
should be a
is,
better place.
the people on the left, it's almost impossible to like. So if someone speeds up in the left lane, you usually can just get in front of them. And
Usually, if you hold on for long enough, you are going to outwit them.
and
Because
it's such good karma as well.
like I drive a car that it's already got scrapes on it. I don't care that much about it realistically. If you hit me in your expensive Porsche or your works van, it's you that's going to be worse off, not me. I don't care about it. You could scrape my car up. I'd still drive it. It'd still be worth similar to what it's worth now. Like, I don't know. We've just spoken about something that happens too often on roads. And there's another thing that happens too often on roads. It's when old people, OAPs, are on their mobility scooters and they're driving them on the roads. Now, I don't know if this is just something that happens in the area that we're from. I know you've seen it a few times.
A few times, yeah.
I saw it the other day and it infuriated me. It angered me more than probably merging does, to be honest. I almost hit him because I couldn't see him. It was like 5 o'clock and it was dark. And he had no reflectives on. He had no number plate. He had no lights. And he's on a little mobility scooter going meh, at like probably 10 mile an hour. It was a national road as well. 60 mile an hour road. And my friend is going 10 miles an hour in literally pitch black.
You gotta laugh at him though.
I gotta respect it kind of, but respectfully, just get off the roads. You don't belong.
Don't belong.
Speaking like a true BMW driver right now, you don't belong on my roads, please.
It's his road.
My roads.
Do you want to hear my pet peeve on the road? The one that annoys me the most.
More than OAPs driving them a bit. Okay, go on.
It is when you are at specifically like a mid-sized roundabout, not like a massive roundabout, but like a middle-sized roundabout, and you're waiting just to come out, and you've got the right lane, you've got the left lane, then someone comes from the left lane, and they're not they're not indicating.
You had to go at me because I did this the other day, didn't I?
Yeah, I know. And then you're not indicating, and then they just turn left.
So you could have gone in that time, but they
Pretty much.
haven't indicated, so then you didn't go because you
Exactly. So I'm just sat there because you haven't indicated, and I could have went across the roundabout, gone across my day, and been like 5 or 10 seconds ahead of my day. But no, you've decided just to turn left and just be an absolute mong.
Do you know what? It's a numbers game. Seconds lost are seconds that you don't get to spend with your loved ones or, at your job earning money. So I get your point. Every second matters.
Seconds matter.
Seconds
and
really
inches.
do matter. Yeah. Anyway,
Moving on.
my other final pet peeve, not to moan about anything because we have had a little bit of a moaning session here.
Not good thing saying the back
Out of
my car.
context, that sounds mad.
We're gonna have a moaning session after this.
We've had a little bit of a. This bit's getting cut out. we've had a little bit of a grumble about some of our gripes on the road. I've got one last one. When you let somebody out and they don't thank
Oh
you,
my days.
the least I can ask you to do is to just little finger. You know what I mean? Just a little thanks, mate.
Horrific.
That's all I'm asking for. I don't want you to, hold your hands together and say, thank you so much, you've really made my day better. Don't need any of that. Just a simple, even a nod. That would be fine. But some people, and this, again, might be our area that we live in, I really find that when I venture out of where we live, it's not as bad as it is around here.
However, Welsh people are really bad for it.
Welsh people are bad for it.
Not in a racist way.
Not to be xenophobic.
Not even stereotypical, because it's just from personal experience. It's just not a good...
Every time we've gone to Wales together, we've both experienced
But Welsh
that.
people don't like the English, so that could be why.
It's fair, though, because I don't really like the
Okay,
English
if you're
either.
Welsh, do other Welsh people go to you, or is it just like a universal Welsh thing?
Do
where
you just
don't
see
get
an
it?
English car coming and think, I ain't saying thanks to this guy?
Because honestly, that's fair then at that point, like, game's the game. But, like, I just want to know.
The thing is, like, back to my original point, round here, you could let 4 people out in a row, and you can guarantee that the maximum amount of thanks you get out of 4 is probably 1.
I think mine's a bit better.
I
Maybe
must
it's
just
because you're a
be-
BMW driver.
maybe it's the BMW effect. Because
I think it could
when I
be.
didn't drive a BMW, if I saw one, I probably wouldn't thank them.
Mm.
Then again, no, I probably would. I am quite
I
a
thank everyone.
considerate driver.
I'm like, I make sure people are known that I'm thankful for them. I'm like, cheers, mate. I even lip it. I'm like, cheers.
That's
Thank
just
you.
overkill. I just hand on the wheel. Cheers. That's all I do.
I'm just a nice guy.
Or I'd sometimes do the 2 fingers, to be fair.
However,
I quite like that one.
Do you know what happened? This is probably the worst example of one of these that happened to me. Do you know outside my road where you turn, like, imagine you come from Tesco's and you turn up that road and there's loads of cars on the right. I was driving up the once, and then this black, like, Volkswagen was coming down and pretty much just went into the middle of the road. Like, I was about to just, because there's cars on the right, so they have to wait for
you can't. You have to wait.
I was almost about to go, and this car went round, decided to go itself, so I stopped for them, and they still didn't even say thank you. So they cut in front of me. I also let them go, and they still didn't say thank you. So if you're out there,
If you're watching this podcast and
I
you're one
hope
of these
you
people,
lose a limb. I hope your life goes terrible.
this same group of people are the people that will block off a junction in traffic. That's the same people, and they sit there and they don't acknowledge anyone because they're embarrassed that they've done it.
There is,
But everyone knows that you're being a knob.
yeah.
But you're just going to sit there and just try and firm it. But if you're firming it, you're going to look around and say, I'm really sorry, like, it's just my bad. No, they just sit there and just look dead ahead and try and pretend that nothing's happened.
I must have had a bad childhood.
Horrendous, yeah.
Anyway,
Let's move on.
we've had a big rant there. Let's go to the... We figured this out this week.
We've figured out the format for this, because if you've watched last week's episode...
It was not good.
it was a bit of a shambles, but... Yeah, you want to introduce?
Am I doing this?
Yeah,
Right.
I'll let you.
This is the section where we go on Facebook Marketplace throughout our week and we find an interesting car to compete against each other.
We do. There's different categories.
There is different categories. We rate on design, value for money, personality, condition, rarity, and uniqueness. And then in the end, it will be like an average score, and we'll do a leaderboard.
Whichever car wins goes onto the leaderboard, and each week we're going to build it up, and we'll have eventually quite a big leaderboard of cars. And you guys can comment down below if you agree or disagree with what we've said.
Yes.
Before we get into the cars, though, I was scouring Facebook Marketplace this morning, actually, in preparation for this podcast, and I literally clicked on Facebook Marketplace. The first thing that I see at 10 o'clock in the morning is a rotisserie chicken with carrots and other vegetables.
And how much was it?
£5.
Good value for money.
And it was in
10.
Wolverhampton. I'm vegetarian, so I didn't, but I almost got in the car and, thought I've got to go to Wolverhampton to check out this deal. But then, yeah, I did think it was a little bit. Would you trust a Facebook Marketplace chicken?
I found a heart-shaped potato on Valentine's Day.
That's
on
worth
Facebook
it. How much was it?
It was like 10 quid
for
one potato.
Not worth it. Okay.
Scam. Anyway.
We've got sidetracked. Dan, would you like
Moving
to
on.
introduce your car? Because I can see a picture. I can see a couple of pictures of it.
So this car is a TVR wedge. I don't know this is called a Tasman wedge, which is, from what I researched this car a bit because I have no clue what this car is, and this car is probably like the least specs one you can get. This was a 4-pot engine.
4-pot engine. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought they were a V8.
Hold on.
Okay,
And it was, I think this one is about 160, 180 horsepower, which is the least you can get. However, they have a few iterations of this car, and they span across the years, obviously. But there is a V6 Ford engine version of these.
Ford Essex V6.
Maybe.
It's probably an Essex V6.
Iconic engine. I think it did say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Forward.
And then that was maybe that was 180 horsepower. I'm not sure. But then they do a V8 version of this car, which is like 250 horsepower. But this one, unfortunately,
so you're telling me that yours is the one that no one wants?
Pretty much. But it's a cool looking car, and it is in a nice colour. And I do like a blue with silver wheels.
I'm just going to put one thing out there. I would love to see the underside of that car. Not in a weird way. Horrific. I would love to see how much daylight you can see through those holes in the chassis.
Yeah. It is probably horrific. But
it's a TVR. It is a British-made car from the 90s?
I think it's 1980s.
80s. It's probably just going to have no floor left.
But
it's a lovely looking car, though. No, I will give you that. It's a lovely looking car. It's got dual exhausts.
Yep. Dual exhaust. It's convertible.
Proper pea shooter exhaust, if you know what I mean by that.
You can get these with the hard top as well, which look these are very nice looking cars.
Yeah, the hard top would look better. I like it though.
It's very sick. I didn't even.
Got a little bonnet scoop there as well.
It's called a TVR wedge.
TVR wedge.
It does look like a wedge. It looks like a Dorito.
It really does actually. I will. Props to Dan there. I had not heard of that car before you brought it up. So fair enough. You found quite a niche car there.
That's cool.
But speaking of niche cars, my entry for this week is a Toyota Corolla Verso 2.2 diesel, which crucially has been tastefully modified.
Oh, tastefully.
Did you know that this car has got parts from a rotary engined Mazda on it?
Has this?
Yeah, the wheels.
Oh yeah, RX-8 wheels. Is that what it is?
RX-8 wheels, yeah. So
I thought you were about to say it's like an engine swap.
No, not quite.
Wheels.
So
also, let me just make sure this camera's still going.
Yeah,
hold on, guys, because we had a really good incident where this wasn't recording. Yes,
still recorded. Brilliant.
Right, continue with your rotary engine Corolla.
So I found this Toyota Corolla, and as you've probably seen from the pictures, I just couldn't ignore it. It's a beautiful.
It is.
Beautiful looking car.
Nice. Definitely not fucking council estate spec, but it's alright.
Yeah. I think it's lovely. It's a 2.2 diesel, famously torquey engine, I would assume. Never driven one.
Never.
No. Remapped to 196 horsepower.
That's pretty nuts, to be fair.
It was 130 something, I think. There is a description here.
That's quite a big boost in power.
It's also continuing on the spec list. Modified. It's lowered. And it's got RX-8 wheels. I've personally never seen those wheels on an RX-8, but I will take his word for it.
Yeah, and it also hasn't got wing mirrors.
Oh, that's very true. And there's like a strip of the side of the car missing. Oh wait, it's a camo decal. Oh god.
Is this a carbon fibre bonnet?
I didn't notice that.
Is that carbon fibre?
It's got a carbon fibre bonnet. I'm going to assume it's not a real carbon fibre bonnet. If it is, then props to. If you're watching, mate, I'd love to review your car.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't.
Really would thoroughly love to. Where is he based actually? Redditch. That's quite close.
Oh yeah,
to us ish.
If you want us to review it, pay us, because I don't want to be in that thing.
But anyway, continuing on with the quite frankly extensive spec list of this Toyota Corolla Verso, it's got DVD players in the headrests.
That is very cool.
And it's a full leather interior as well.
0 point to us. Actually, that'll be a great podcast setup.
And we've even got a huge, stupid aftermarket subwoofer. I'm going to assume that's a subwoofer. Is that a sub?
That is a subwoofer, yeah.
I don't know anything about car audio. I've never really been into that. But
that's where the bass comes out of, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a 2009 car. It's just ticked over 211,000 miles.
211,000.
Hardly broken in, really. It's a Toyota. It's got the badge on the front. You know what I mean? It's
Get the badge in.
But the name Verso is actually reminded me. There's a Yaris Verso, I want to say, and it's like I think Candy Showroom. You have told you about Candy Showroom before.
I know
a lot of people will know who I'm on about. He reviewed one and he called it a frog with a migraine. And I've always thought about that, and it's such a great analogy.
How is it like the
It's
way
like
it
a
looks,
Yaris, but with like an extended roof.
Oh, so it'd be good for me.
It would be good for you, actually. I think I could
I
see
can't fit in a Yaris. That's what I learned to drive in, was a Yaris, and I was like this.
I don't have that problem.
Yeah.
So you can see there's a bit of a height difference here. Yeah, I can't reach it. But that's my pick for this week. The camo Toyota Corolla Verso 2.2 diesel remapped to 196 horsepower with Mazda RX-8 parts on it. We're now going to go through and rank each car on the categories that we discussed before. So should we start off? Let's go through all the categories for your car. I'll write them down on here.
Okay.
So design, we need to agree on a score out of 10, basically. And we'll just go through the middle if we're both disagreeing.
I'm saying design on the wedge is 7.5. I think it's... got you.
Yeah.
I thought you just put D.
Design,
I'm
you
saying
think
7.5. I don't think it's much high. It's a very cool looking car. And I think it's very unique looking, like the way it's been designed.
I think I can agree with you.
It's got the hood vents.
I can go for a 7.5. Okay.
Okay.
So 7.5 for design for Dan's TVR wedge. Value for money. How much was it? Sorry.
It's like, I'm saying like a 2 value for money.
It's not.
It hasn't got a great engine. It's probably really rusted. You're just getting like a cool, unique car.
Fuel economy, no.
I didn't look at the MPG, but it's probably not great.
It's probably about 10.
It's probably not that bad, you know.
It's probably leaking fuel.
If you fix it. That's a condition.
I think we'll agree on 2. I don't think it's very good.
Personality. I'm saying 8. I think it's very different.
I think 6, so we'll meet in the middle at 7.
Okay.
Yeah?
I'll go with 7.
7 for personality.
Condition. I couldn't really see many pictures, so we don't actually know.
We know for a fact, without looking at that car, that the underside of it is like
But you don't
cookie
know.
crumble.
It could be very good. I'm saying 3.5. Because there wasn't many pictures, so it could be be 1.
From what we see, it's decent, but for the fact that it could be hiding quite a catastrophic secret, then I think
rarity. That's gonna have to be a 9, or you didn't even know it yourself. So
I'll agree with you.
It could be,
9.
I think,
Fair
a
enough.
9.
Fair enough.
I don't want to say 10.
For that.
Uniqueness. This was a cool feature. By the way, we've said this before. The difference between uniqueness and rarity being how many you see on the road. And then uniqueness is like if there's anything cool about the car. There's nothing really interesting. It's got a Ford engine.
In terms of uniqueness, it's quite a generic car from the 80s, right? It's quite...
I wouldn't say generic. It's definitely...
There were a few like it, though.
Like...
Oh,
that doesn't help you guys.
I don't know.
I
don't really know cars from there that
I would say uniqueness. I'm saying 5.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Right down the middle. 5. Okay. So... Would you like to add that score up? On the spot, I'm really testing you here.
5, 9.5, 16.5,
20,
19. Oh yeah, 20,
29,
34.
34 out of a possible.
Will it be
60?
Out of, yeah, there's 6 questions there.
Okay. So, Dan's car, Dan's wedge, scored 34 out of a possible 60. Let's go through my Corolla Verso.
Right.
Design
0. Yes.
0, really?
I'm giving it a 2 at max. Like I'm pushing it there. Like I think if it was left stock,
okay.
It'd be
So
nicer.
strategically, if I say a 4, then I can get 3 out of that. So I'm going to say 3. We're meeting in the middle.
Do you believe in your head it's over a 2?
Yeah, 100%. It's a brilliant car. I'll stand by that. Good family car.
Okay.
3 total, right? You said 2, I said 4.
I mean, tactically, I can say 1.
You've said it already.
Okay.
Value for money, $2,000. $2,000 for that. We've got to be up there in like 8.
If it's been looked after,
probably not.
I'm saying 7.5 value for money. I think 8's pushing it a bit.
Okay, I'll agree with you.
It has got screens in the back, and it's got a few things, but like
if you think of the amount of money that someone's probably put into that, it's probably near $2,000.
Yeah.
Like,
it's also
been reasonable. Personality, 10. I'm sorry if you disagree, but 10. You're going to look at that when it walks past you, and you're going to be like, oh my...
I will say 8.5.
I said walks past, drives past. I mean, maybe it walks, who knows. What have you just said?
8.5. I think it has got because someone's put their personality.
Okay, so meeting in the middle, is that 9 or 9.5? Because I said 10.
You can have 9.
Thank you.
I think.
That's fine.
I think, like we said before, pushing 10 is
10 should be a rarity, to be fair. Condition. It's done. I'll be honest with this, not joking around. It's done quite a few miles, so it's probably not good condition.
And it doesn't look like it's maybe has kept in good condition. Did it have much?
Probably not having a service since like 2015.
I'm saying like 6.
Yeah, okay, I'll agree with you. 6. Rarity. Honestly speaking, I don't really see many of the Corolla Versos. I see Corollas quite a lot. They're like Uber driver cars. Corollas are. But the Corolla Verso, and maybe that's more unique. Actually, I was going to say you don't often see a camo car, do you? Really? But
no. I would say rare. I wouldn't say it's like
probably
rare.
I'd say
it is
5,
just
no?
at the end of the day, it is just a
Toyota people carrier.
Yeah. So I'd say like 4 or 5 rarity.
Okay, we'll take 5. Uniqueness. I think it's quite unique actually. It's not a 10. And then again, if you go on to most council estates in the UK, you probably find something similar.
Yeah.
Not a Toyota Corolla, but you'll find like a Zafira that's similar spec.
Yeah. It's unique, but not in a good way.
Yeah. Can I reach for 6? Is 6 a little bit high?
I'm feeling more 5, so we could do 5.5.
Fine, 5.5. Okay.
I hate that yours is probably beating me.
I don't think it has.
Is it? Oh, is it not?
10.5, 19.5, 20, 25.5, 30.5,
35.
30.
You've beat me.
No, 36. Oh, I have beat you. I've beat you.
How is your?
Oh my god. Okay.
How is your Corolla?
Guys,
Also, can we speak about how your tactical things actually made you probably win it?
No, because we would have had 2 otherwise.
Is it 30? You say 35? Oh, okay. Oh, 36. I didn't realise.
36.
That's a joke.
Out of 60. Clear win for the Toyota Corolla Verso. Before we argue about it, we should probably move on. Let us know down in the comments if you agree with that. I won so easily. So easily.
I wouldn't say that's there.
Oh, this is an interesting segment.
Oh, it is? Is this the next one?
This is the next one.
All out yet.
Well, I'll go first and you can have a little bit of a think.
Are we going to do back and forward like we're saying car each?
I think I'll list mine and you list yours, I reckon.
Okay.
This is the segment that we had a bit of an idea for last week, and I couldn't think of it on the spot.
No, I still can't think of it on the spot.
Our dream 5-car garage. This is money no object 5-car garage, and mine is surprisingly quite cheap. And when I say cheap, I don't mean it's not like $1,000, but it's not really too expensive.
I thought that said some type of Kais on that car.
No. On that note, I will begin.
Yours is
It's
quite tame.
common, actually.
My few cars are not tame.
My first car, if you don't know, get to know. That's all I'm going to say. Porsche Cayenne S 4.5 V8. Original Cayenne. First SUV that Porsche ever made. And my God, did they do it well.
Yeah, it looks like a Touareg.
It is a Touareg. It's literally a Touareg.
Is that what you're saying?
Touareg? Don't know.
Who
I've
knows?
always
Who
said
cares?
Touareg. Porsche Cayenne S.
Very
With the
nice.
4.5 V8, I wouldn't object to a manual. I don't know if I'd want an auto, actually, thinking about it. I'd
Depends
want
what you want
it
the car for.
fully loaded, beige on beige inside, like beige
yeah,
interior,
nice.
fully beige carpets, everything.
Full spec.
Full spec, the lot. That's my first car, because I figured in a 5-car garage, you've got to have an SUV of some point. I don't like SUVs, but that's got character.
It's got to be in there.
Cool. Fuel economy, not very good. But you don't buy it for
money's
fuel
not an
economy.
object.
Our money's not an object. Exactly. What I don't spend on cars goes on fuel.
Exactly. Right, what's your next car?
My second car, the occasion for this car is you need to pop to the shops maybe, or you're having a nice little weekend out and you want a convertible potentially that's going to be fuel efficient because you've got a KNS in the garage. I've put some type of K car, i.e. a Honda Beat. I'm not fully decided on which K car it would be. I do like a Honda Beat, but I feel like I would like to do that thing. Have you seen when people go to Japan to the auctions and they buy a K car there?
What is a K car? Is it a kit car?
It's if I'm right in saying it's got to be 600 and I want to say 666 cc maximum engine, and it's specific dimensions. I might be
cappuccino.
Yeah, like
Nice.
a 0.6 litre
They're cool.
engine with a turbo, and they can only have a certain amount of power, usually like 70 horsepower.
Nice.
But I've always really been quite fascinated by them, so I think I'd like to own one. So that's my second car, weekend / pop to the shops kind of car. Small, nimble,
fun little
nice. Next car it's on my list that I want to own one of these at some point. I don't know if you'll know exactly what I'm on about.
I know this is the one with the big grills. No? Oh,
No,
wait.
this is an old
Is
one.
it an older one?
So this is a BMW 540i Touring E46 generation.
I think I know what this is. Yeah.
Hand it over to Dan to tell me what it is.
Well, I won't be able to tell you that. Is it got a straight inline V6?
No, it's got a V8 motor.
It's got. I was going to say that, but I didn't think it would have a V8.
It's got a lovely V8 in it, which is also, I want to say, might be wrong, it was used by, I think it was in the L322 Range Rover. I might be completely waffling there. We're out of Dan's depth now. Goodbye, Dan, for the next 2 minutes. But I'm sure that same engine out of the 540i was used in a JLR product of some description. I love them. The 540i Touring is peak BMW design. So good. Colour-wise, I don't know what colour it would be. I really like Taylor Hetherington. You don't know who Taylor Hetherington is? Auto Alex?
No, Auto Alex.
So he's part of Auto Alex. He's got,
Nice.
well, he had two 540i's at one point, but he's got a grey one. It is beautiful. So nice. Manual as well. Manual.
You have to have
Emmanuel.
a V8. It's got to be done.
With a crazy exhaust on it, but I'd have a valved exhaust so that you could drive it respectfully if you wanted to. But
is that going to be the type of car you want to bring out and drive respectfully?
Probably not, no, because it's got a
going to be
V8.
like your weekend car, isn't it?
Probably, but it's practical as well.
They are very nice.
That's my estate car, which I figure if you've got a 5-car garage, you're going to have an SUV and you're probably going to have an estate as well.
Right, what's the next car you've got here?
The next car is it's an all-time dream car of mine. If I had money, no object,
nice
I would probably be buying one of these straight away. A Renault 5 GT Turbo.
Aren't they V6 or no?
No.
Oh.
No.
Do they not have a V6 one, or is it?
That's a V6 Clio. That's a different
What's
thing.
this?
Renault 5 GT Turbo. It's the LEG car.
Is it?
Yeah. I would 100% have one of them. Money, no object. I would
Don't
own
have a V6
a Renault
one?
5 GT Turbo. No. The GT Turbo is the rear engine one. If I'm right in saying, I could be catastrophically wrong. No, I think I'm right. It's the rear engine one, rear wheel drive, turbo, obviously in the name. I would own one of those. It would be fully kitted out, blow off valve, everything. It would be lovely.
That'd be like your weekend summer car.
Yeah, I'd say I would daily drive one of them happily though. If I
you
had
definitely
enough
would.
money for fuel, I would daily drive that 100%. I think, controversial statement, I could daily drive anything. I can make it work.
With Basil.
Okay, stipulation is that if it's I could daily drive anything excluding a convertible, or if it's a convertible, it must have rear seats. That's my parameters. But anything that you can think of,
Not anything.
no, anything that you can think of in those parameters, I could daily drive. I can make it work.
And what's the last car you got on it?
The last car again
That's
is
very cool.
a all-time bucket list car of mine that I will own at some point. Mark my words. A classic Volkswagen Beetle. Classic Volkswagen Beetle, but crucially with some type of Porsche engine swap. I'm not fully decided on what Porsche engine I would put in it. Probably an old flat 4 of some description. Maybe a flat 6, who knows? But
Flat 6 would be very cool.
yeah, a lovely air-cooled Porsche engine would go into that Beetle,
cool.
and I would slam it, probably on air suspension, and yeah, that would be my ridiculous car that I'd probably take to shows
That'd
and
be very cool.
drive in the summer, really. I think I've covered all bases there, because the Cayenne,
You've got a bit of everything.
you could drive that in winter. The 540i, you'd probably struggle because it's rear-wheel
Yeah.
drive, but you could give it a go. The K car is kind of all-weather, I would say.
The K car's very cool.
Light front-wheel drive. No, they're rear-wheel drive, actually, sometimes.
Does it matter?
Doesn't really matter, to
Okay.
be fair, because they're quite skinny tyres. So, yeah, that's my 5-car garage. So, let me know down in the comments if you think that I'm an
It
absolute
definitely shows your
idiot.
personality in there.
That really showcases like what I'm into. To be honest, there's a bit of everything. So I think I've done well there.
Right,
Over
trying to
to you,
remember
Dan.
my cars. I've
Yeah.
got quite. I think I've thought of another one that I didn't put in, which I know I should.
Okay.
But we'll start off with my first car, which is going to be no surprise to you. Is a Porsche 911 GT2 RS.
Why not a GT3 RS?
I think the GT2s look a lot better.
Okay.
I just like the look of them a lot more.
Okay.
And I feel like they're slightly bit more rare than the GT3s. I feel like I do not see many. I've seen a GT3. I haven't seen a GT2. I have, but I feel like.
I think in terms of production numbers, the GT3 RS is a rarer car.
Is it?
Yeah.
Got more people on it.
I know you have to be on a list to buy.
Yeah,
either
you
of
have
them.
to have like
you have
you
to
need
bought,
to have
like
so
10
many
Porsches or something stupid like
crazy
that.
money. But I saw one in a car park in Stafford, really randomly. I think I sent you a picture of it the once.
I think you did. Yeah, I think I remember.
Very mad, but that would be a dream car.
What colour? Put you on the spot. What colour?
Probably green.
British
Yeah.
Racing or
I'd be
like alien green kind of
British Racer.
Hmm.
And then
gold wheels?
Maybe. Either gold or silver wheels.
Okay. Yeah.
There is another colour that I'd probably have. Either like a blue or like just blacked out. I think I'd like. I know we said before about blacked out cars, but I think a blacked out Porsche with a spoiler. It's just
I'll have to disagree with you there.
Batmobile.
That's fair.
Batmobile spec.
Second car.
Second car is a Ferrari Enzo.
Ferrari Enzo. That's really random. I did not expect that from you.
Well, I think I used to have a model of them back in the day, and I also used to have a picture of one on my wall. And as like a dream car, they look fantastic.
Am I right in saying we'll research this after? But am I right in saying that Ferrari Enzos are insanely rare? Like,
probably, yeah.
Yeah, really
they're
quite hard
I
to get hold. No, they're not like a Toyota Corolla Versa.
No.
You know what I mean? They're not exactly common.
Yeah, you're not. I don't think like this, but it's Dream Car Garage
Do you know why it's called a Ferrari Enzo?
after Ferrari Enzo.
Other way around, Enzo Ferrari.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
After the
Yeah.
maker of Ferrari. Yeah, I think they're V12s. Insane cars.
I'll have to say that I don't really know much about.
I think I looked up, but they're just insane.
Okay.
Convertible
I'm
as
here
well.
for it. Yeah, that was your second car then. Third car?
Third car is gonna have to be.
Don't say Passat.
No, don't worry. You'll like this one.
Okay.
I think it'll have to be a Nissan Silvia
Started off good.
S15.
Okay, I'm here for that, yeah.
Has to be.
Yeah.
Fully modded, big turbo, pretty much basically just a drift spec car.
Is it like a car?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
100%.
That's the only thing that I'm possibly missing from my list. But the K car, if you modified it, would
Yeah. Exactly.
So
But I'd have that in like a candy red. I think Adam LZ's got one, and it's in like a candy red.
Adam LZ. LZ?
Oh.
I say LZ. I feel like LZ rolls off the tongue better for me.
Yeah,
But
because it's American.
Adam LZ, then, he's just living the dream. He's
Yeah, he's got
I have no
compound
words.
with pretty much a racetrack outside.
He could just get up every day and drive a different car.
got so
Probably
many.
for a month. He's probably got like more. He's got more than 30
I
cars.
think he's got more cars than I would have in like Forza.
He's got more cars than I will probably ever own in my life.
Oh, 100%. Sorry.
Mad,
It's
but
never happening.
it's
Unless
never
good.
going to
But
happen.
even then, he's just going. I've been watching him since he did BMX. I knew him before cars. Don't watch him anymore.
I can't say I did because I don't really care about BMX.
I don't know why I watched him for BMX, but I did.
Yeah.
But I'm a long time fan.
If you're watching, Adam,
Oh,
there you go,
speaking of
mate.
Devil.
Ooh.
That's a V8 as
Well,
well.
it's a KN GTS, yeah. That was it was a burgundy KN GTS.
Wow, we look.
That
like,
is a beautiful
it's parked
car.
over there. We're like Waymo. Turn that way. Turn this way. This is.
It's not going to work.
Wait, it's coming over. Oh, is it? Oh, you fucking bastards. Anyway, that's a very nice
It's a
example.
lovely colour. Really nice car. I've never seen one in that colour before.
That is insane.
KN, that's a GTS. I did say KNS, but
That's
I wouldn't.
really nice.
I wouldn't object to a GTS. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's
In,
not.
like that dark red. Is
That's the same colour as what my Golf was. I think kind of similar.
V8 as well. That is insane. Hopefully,
It's not
you can
very
see
loud.
It was when it was
It'll
going
come back.
past.
Come behind us.
But I feel like Waymo right now. Anyway, very cool.
Shout out Waymo, by the way, Charlie, guys, if you're watching.
Yeah, hello guys. I don't know your names, but love the videos. What did I just say? Did I say Enzo?
Said no. You said S15. So
Oh
that was
yeah,
your third
it would
car.
be modded
In a
to
candy
shit.
red.
Yeah, candy red, silver wheels. It would. Yeah, I'd
I'm
have
here
one
for
of
that.
those. 100%.
Would you be one of those guys that has like the stacked, like the tailpipes that go like that, the
No, I
angled
don't like that.
tailpipes sticking out about 2 meters? from the
I
back?
do respect it. It's called like. I don't know what it's called. There's a certain name for it.
The ones that you'd break your leg on
Yeah.
if you walk past. Kind
There's
of thing.
actual like It's like a Japanese like culture thing, and it's called like Balzac, something like that.
I just heard ballsack, to be
Balzac.
honest.
Sorry, I've just offended a whole nation again.
Okay, fourth car.
Fourth car. This is now I'm going off what I've just decided in my head, and I think it would be an Audi RS6, probably like an older one. There's a guy on Instagram that has one. I don't know what his name is, but I've sent you the car before. He has a red RS6. I think it's an RS6, the long ones.
Yeah, it's an estate.
Yeah.
You know, you can still be heard by the mic.
RS6. Yeah, I would have an RS6.
An RS6 of some description.
They are insane.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Big V8. However, I do like an C63 estate.
Yeah, no, you're there. It's an E63, I think.
Is it? I would have one of those, but yeah, RS. I think they are very nice cars in the red as well.
Yeah, I think they're beautiful.
Red,
Really
silver
nice.
wheels, classic combo.
Fifth car. Last
Fifth car.
car.
Fuck. That's what I haven't decided yet.
In my head, you've got a Silvia, which is like a two-seater.
Ford Fiesta. No, it's not Ford Fiesta.
People have just tuned out of this podcast after you said that.
No, I want to go. I want to say an SUV of some sorts.
Hmm.
But I really want to say a Defender.
You like a Do you like a G wagon, or have I just made that up?
No, I mean they're cool, but I wouldn't have one. They're just a bit. It's such like a common like rich person's car.
Mm.
Like there's types of cars that people like think like when you're rich. That's what
They're
you
like
get.
a status symbol,
And
aren't
they're
they?
not
Like,
like-
that's like
yeah.
for me, an Aventador.
I'm pretty
it's
sure
kind of like
people
that.
buy them because it's like a certain amount of weight for a tax write-off.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard something like that before.
It's like
we might be
the
waffling
exact
right
weight
now.
for a tax write-off. Anyway,
Come on, fifth car.
I have no clue.
Do you want to leave it at 4?
I think I can say SVR, a Range Rover SVR.
You
I
do
think
like
that's a
an
bit
SVR,
boring,
yeah. No, it's
but-
not boring. I think that's all right.
Yeah, I haven't got anything else really. I can't lie.
Okay, we're going to move swiftly on then. Just a little, kind of like a side topic, really.
Jesus, we're fucking cooking this episode. 45
Yeah.
minutes.
A lot of
Hopefully
this.
you like the longer episodes, brackets we've done too. But yeah, we've waffled in this. But you know what? It's part of the game. Next thing, Josh. Got a very serious question for you here.
Okay, I don't know if I'm ready for this.
So, obviously, F1 drivers, very skilled drivers. You're driving 200 miles per hour sometimes around a corner.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of G-forces. You've got to be like a very fit young male or female to endure
Just to withstand
those
the
type of
G-forces,
forces,
yeah.
and like the reaction time of like an F1 driver, insane. However, rally drivers
Yep.
driving 150, 100 miles per hour round a bend on a dirt track, just like driving down a B road, like with a bush here and a bush there, not much room for error. What would you say, like, which is harder, F1 or rally?
Which drivers have the most skill?
Yeah, let's do that.
I've got a really solid opinion on this, actually.
Come on, Josh. You know what? Okay, let's count down.
On 3, 2, 1, we're gonna
Yeah.
both say which one. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Who's saying 3, 2, 1?
3, 2, 1. Rally.
Okay.
Yeah, we both agree.
I think there's no other option for that.
Not at all to discredit the F1 drivers
Oh,
that might be
F1
watching this
drivers-
podcast.
No, that's...
You guys are really skilled. I'm not downplaying that at all. I could never do F1. I'm not that skilled.
Do you know, we probably couldn't push down the brake pedal on an F1 car.
No, exactly. Like, don't get me wrong. It's physically really quite a demanding sport. Both of them are. But my point with rally is that rally requires more skill because the terrain changes. Bearing in mind, the weather can change. They have to make really quick, split-second decisions. And also, if visibility is limited, they're relying on their old mate in the other seat,
Which I don't get.
the
how they do.
co-driver. There's
So
lots
you're
of
doing-
stuff that they have to learn.
You're
I
doing
know.
multiple things at one time.
Multiple
so you're
inputs,
driving
gears.
like gears. They've got
F1
that, but
drivers have
it
gears,
is-
but
it is
it's sequential, isn't it?
sequential,
Yeah.
But like with rally, the amount of, because obviously F1 you've got low reaction time, but in rally I think it's even lower, because you're literally driving down a little B road, and you've got
Yeah.
You've got to be doing this, fully focus on the road in front of you, while also listening to the guy next to you telling you what turn's coming up.
The thing that you've got to consider as well is that F1 is a consistency game. There's the same line that they must take to get the best lap time possible. Rally, if someone goes off on a corner and they damage part of the circuit, or the stage, I think it's called.
I think it is, yeah.
Then the drivers after that driver are going to have to change their approach, if they've got an approach at all, to then accommodate with that change of circumstances. I just think that requires more skill and more thinking on the spot on both the drivers and the co-drivers' part. And it's not at all discrediting the likes of George Russell, Lewis Hamilton, Lando Norris. I've just listed all British drivers, but they're very skilled athletes in their own right. But in my opinion, controversially so, rally drivers are more skilled.
What it comes down to, I think a rally driver could do pretty good on F1, but an F1 driver wouldn't do as great in rally.
I agree. Yeah,
there's a lot more things to learn in rally. I mean, F1 drivers would understand it because it's a lot of getting the car to go out of control to go around a corner. There's this
counter steer.
I mean, that's an obvious thing. What's it called? There's it's called brake, but you obviously brake in to get the car to slide out, and it's got a name.
To push the back end out, left foot braking.
No, there's an actual technique which rally drivers use a lot with the brakes, which is how you get the car to drift out, which is how they go around corners.
Brake boosting?
No, I don't know what it's called.
I don't know, but
anyway, there's a lot of techniques and there's a lot of things, and I think rally is a lot harder than F1, especially if you've seen the Group B stages back in the day. The golden era for fucking F1 rally. It's actually insane, especially with all the crowds on either side as well.
It's worth saying though, F1 drivers do undergo a lot more G-force than rally drivers do.
100%.
A lot more G-force, and that is something to consider. But I think a point that goes in rally drivers' favour is that rally cars can withstand a lot more damage.
Oh yeah.
But that does mean that rally drivers often drive their cars with stuff hanging off or stuff not working, as it usually does. So then they have to adapt their approach and their driving style to accommodate for their car. F1 drivers, their front wing breaks, and they're out of the race. They're done. Do you know what I mean? I feel like rally drivers really have to put up with a lot more shit than F1 drivers do.
But to be fair, F1 cars are the amount of money that goes into these cars, and they are feats of engineering. To go around a corner full throttle at 200 mile per hour, and the car
there's a lot of money in rally though as well.
There's a lot of money, but not
not as much money, but there is a lot of money in that.
I think an F1 suspension would cost more than the whole of a rally car. I think F1 suspension. It's $1 million to $2 million for an F1 suspension. It's something stupid.
There's a lot of money in WRC though.
Yeah, but F1 has more money in it than rally, and that's not even a question.
I think we can make points for both, but I think overall we both think that rally drivers are a little bit more skilled than F1 drivers.
Yeah, I'll go a little bit more.
It's hard to say, but yeah.
I think it just goes back to the point. Rally drivers could do F1 quite well. F1 drivers wouldn't have to do rally quite well. And I think that's that on that. If you have anything to say about that, come and find me.
It's worth knowing as well, though, what do we know about F1 driving? Or we're just kind of making an insight on it. We don't actually know what that's like.
But also, going on that point, if we went onto an F1 track to drive a car, we could do quite well. But if we went to try and do a rally course, wouldn't go well.
Okay.
I think our skills convert more into F1 than rally. I think it's just a whole different ballgame, rally.
Look away.
Oh, shit. I don't know what the fuck that is anyway. Anyway.
Okay. So we've just realised that we've been rolling for quite a while. So
it's a long
we are going to wrap this up 52. With the final segment, which is Dan's quiz. So as you might have seen last week, if you're new to this podcast, Dan here has a much less sort of depth of knowledge of cars than I do. And I'm making it my mission to train him up like my recruit.
Apprentice.
My apprentice, except he doesn't get paid. Anyway, I'm going to train him to be better with car knowledge. So each week I ask him a question and I get him to guess a car as well after that with a few different clues. So your question this week, you've seen it on the screen already. Name me 4 models of Vauxhall.
Vauxhall Astra.
Okay,
Vauxhall Corsa.
2.
Vauxhall Insignia. Am I right with that? Okay, I thought you said I was wrong.
One more. This is where it gets hard.
Is it?
It doesn't, because there is a really obvious one, but I think for the general person, I can think of a couple, but that's just because I've already thought about this. Got 3 so far.
Oh, why is this so hard? Oh, did I say Astra?
You said Astra, yeah.
Fuck's sake.
I love this segment so much.
I did quite well. I was so sick with that. I was like, yeah, I got this. Oh, Adam.
Let's go. He's got 4. Brilliant. I didn't even think
That was
about
such
them.
like an easy one as well.
That was the point
I'm
of my
on
question.
a car podcast and I'm fucking struggling with Vauxhall car names.
You could have said Mocha.
I could have said Mocha. I love a Mocha.
Yeah, I like a Mocha. I can't drink coffee, but I like a Mocha.
You can't drink. Is that a thing now?
Yeah. Anyway, getting sidetracked again like we have all podcasts. Now onto the segment, which is where Dan needs to guess which iconic, I'm going to use the word, iconic car I'm on about through a few different clues. So, first clue. This car was designed in Britain by Alec Asiganis in 1959.
Okay.
That, for me, if someone asked me that question, I would know exactly
know
what
it.
car. Yeah. But I'm quite into...
Do I know the car name?
Yeah.
Do I?
Yeah. Very, very iconic
Have I already
car.
said it?
No.
Okay. I'm not good at that then, am I?
That's your first clue. Any idea? Do you want to
Wait,
take a wild stab in the dark?
Mini.
How have you just got that?
Is
From yeah. Yeah, I'm on about a classic Mini.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh.
That is a classic Mini. That's all I'm on about.
Fucking stupid cunt. Let's go.
So, for anyone who's
Oh, it's
interested,
an Austin Mini.
it's an Austin Mini.
Do you want to know a fun fact? My mother used to own an Austin Mini, I think.
My
Not the small minis.
Yeah.
My mum was very into her minis. We've got mini, like, not mini, we've got a mini, like, RC cars above her bed.
Oh, sick.
And she used to have a Mini, and I remember being in it slightly, but I don't think it was working.
My dad's first car was a Mini.
Very nice cars.
Yeah.
I think if you're British, you just have to
again
like a
would
Mini.
love to own one, but it's not in my 5-car garage. It would make it into my 10-car
I
garage.
would love a Mini
rather a
with a
Beetle.
motorcycle engine in it.
Yeah, like a what do you call them?
Kawasaki.
Kawasaki.
I think that's the engine they put in it. I'm not sure.
Hayabusa usually.
That's
isn't
it. Hayabusa engines.
I don't know anything about motorbikes.
I know what a
I'm
Hayabusa is.
really scratching, you know.
They're just very insane bikes. Very
But
quick.
for anyone interested, the second clue was 3 of these cars featured in a famous film in which actor Michael Caine appeared as the character of Charlie Croker. Do you know what film that is?
What was I going to say? Fucking. I was going to say Mr. Bean. Which also would.
That
could be correct.
it's relevant, yeah.
There's a Mini.
Michael Caine. There was 3 of them. 3 of these cars were in that film.
Was there?
I want to get a
The
tattoo.
Italian Job.
Yes! There we go.
Let's go.
A little bit like vaguely related to automotive
Yeah.
knowledge, but there you go. And then the third clue for anyone interested was a picture, a close-up of the engine bay, which you can see the front lights. So that was me being quite generous.
Austin, which is quite good for me.
Yeah.
I think I've done quite well there.
Yeah, well, I mean, we figured out that Dan is actually smarter than I thought he was with cars.
I just had to single it out. British, old car, had to be Mini.
Yeah. You've done
is
quite
that
well on that. I think, we're out of stuff to say. Unless you've got any comments, I can end this podcast here.
No, I think that's good. I think we've chatted a lot.
We've definitely chatted quite a lot.
Hopefully this was better than the last episode. There was a few hiccups in the last one. Well, things that we didn't think of that now we've thought of. So hopefully this should be a lot better. What do we think of the in-the-car?
In-the-car setup, yeah.
I think it's quite nice.
I like it. It's quite cosy.
The audio should be good. We saw a good car come, which
If we park somewhere a little bit busier next time,
we need like a second camera just so if
We
something
do,
comes by
we
we can
do.
just go clunk, which we might need to invest in. I've got a little GoPro. It would look absolutely shocking.
we're waffling anyway. But
Sorry, yeah.
I've got a few last comments to say. The first of which is that talking to you, viewer, who's still watching, if you haven't already, please subscribe to this
please
channel.
do.
Please do. It helps us out massively. Leave a like on the video and comment down below what your favourite moment was. And if there's anything that we've said in this whole podcast that you disagree with, I implore you to write to CrossedThreads@hotmail.com.
That is crossthreads@hotmail.com.
I think we've got the email right.
I don't.
This podcast is a
Maybe.
shambles.
Shambles and Rumbles, episode 1. Were we laughing at the episode?
I don't know. That's getting cut though.
No, I'm giving him. But you know what?
The second thing I've got to say is, if you've got an interesting car and you're based near the West Midlands area, let us know, because we'd like to film it. That's primarily what we do. We film video content, and we're lacking on cars recently. So please write into the show. Let us know. Give us a DM. Put it down in the comments. Whatever you want to do, whatever your preferred method is. And on that note, I think we'll leave it there.
I'm happy with that.
Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Peace.